Welcome back. Fishing for something fun to do this summer? Head on down to the Keys and visit Aquarium Encounters. Here is the owner of Aquarium Encounters, Ben Daughtry. Ben, it is awesome to have you on the show. How are you?
Really good, really good. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. It's a really cool thing you got going on. Florida Keys Aquarium Encounters. It's brand new. It's your baby. Tell us all about it.
Oh, it's been a lifelong dream of mine, and basically it's an aquarium, but it's different than any other aquarium because it's an interactive aquarium. So everything that you get to do there, you get to actually really experience all of the different fish that we have there with us. So whether it's feeding them or getting into the tank and actually swimming with them, or just wading waist deep, but it really gives you the opportunity to interact with all the species that we have on display there.
And that's so cool because I would imagine most people will have never done any of this, right? And probably think, well, if I'm not scuba certified, I can't do any of this, but now they can.
Right, exactly. So we've opened it up to just anybody that wants to do it. Basically from a 3 or 4 year old child that has no experience, they can really get an opportunity to get an up-close personal meeting with the animals, all the way through certified scuba divers and beyond, that will have the opportunity to do any and all of these encounters.
And it's brand new, just a few weeks old.
Right, right.
Yeah, and tell us how this came to be for you, where you were before this, and how you ended up doing this.
Well, it's a long story, but I'll try and keep it short. But okay. It started about 18 years ago. I've worked for and still work with Dynasty Marine Associates, kind of the mother founding company, and my partner and I were down in Curacao in the South Caribbean. And back in '96, we went down there and experienced a seaquarium from a friend of ours that owns the seaquarium there, and he had an interactive experience, and it really touched me and made me think about what we were doing. And from that moment on, it's been my dream to open up an interactive aquarium where kids get to learn about the different species that are in the ecosystem and really get a close interaction with them.
So I hearken back to the Jaws story, you know, the scene when they're on the boat and they're sharing their scars and that story, right? And I know that for you, you were telling me that you've caught a lot of fish in your day. Do you have a really cool shark story or something story you could share?
Well, I've definitely done quite a few interesting things in the years that I've been collecting animals for public display. So we've done some really interesting research working with the Fukushima Aquarium in Japan, where we were actually looking for the coelacanth, which was a really neat expedition and took 3 weeks over in Indonesia. And we've supplied iconic species all over the world. We were the first ones to do great hammerheads to Atlantis Resort in the Bahamas.
Sure.
So that was a nice feather in the cap to be able to successfully catch and transport great hammerhead sharks.
And the rumor is you caught them all with your bare hands. That's what my notes say.
I think we'll stick with that. Yeah,
yeah, well, tell all the ladies that.
That's it.
All right, so let's get back to talking about your aquarium encounter and some of the specific encounters. The coral reef encounter, what is that?
So the coral reef encounter is really kind of the optimum experience that we have at the aquarium. And what it does is it allows anybody from 8 years old and up, and they don't need to have any kind of certification or any ability really, other than being able to comfortably swim or float in the water. And they can get in the water with an instructor, with a regulator in their mouth, and they get the opportunity to feed all of the different tank mates that we have that are from the Florida Keys, and there's about 50 different species. And then they also have another piece of the tank, or about half of the tank, that is separated off with acrylic windows. And they have the opportunity to go over to that acrylic window and then feed the sharks, jacks, Goliath groupers, eels, the bigger, more dangerous predators that they're fully safe from, but they can actually hand feed them through the acrylic windows.
Yeah, I mean, you said fully safe. That was my next question, because obviously parents are thinking, you know, I don't want my kid to get eaten. So how do you ensure that everybody's safe?
It's really the safest thing you can do. It's like swimming in your pool in the backyard with a dive instructor there with you the whole time. So I mean, it's completely safe. But to keep the predators at bay, once again, you have a 3-inch thick piece of acrylic that keeps them from coming your way. So unless they're about this big, right, they can't squeeze through that hole where you're going to put the little piece of bait fish there.
How fun! And you must get. I mean, people just must leave sort of wide-eyed and just freaking out.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most rewarding things is that I've had several people say that's the best thing I've ever done. And when you get that from from a young kid, it's really a great thing. It's also great to get that from an adult too, but when you have that kind of excitement and emotion in somebody, it really gives you an opportunity to teach them and educate them about the need to conserve those iconic species that are in our ecosystem.
You know, because we're surrounded by water here, obviously, but people a lot of times probably don't think too much about it, I would guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's millions of people just in Dade, Broward, and Monroe County. So lots of people using that environment, the environment that we all live here for. And it's important that we're good stewards of that environment. And
there's a nursery encounter that's nurse sharks, I'm guessing?
Yeah, there's our nursery encounter has a couple of small nurse sharks, a couple of small rays, and it kind of is a real nice way to start off with smaller children or people that just don't want to get wet or get into a tank, and they have an opportunity to see how we train up our animals that we have in human care, and it gives them a chance to feed them and even pet them. And so it's kind of a nice starter level.
Where exactly is this?
It's in Marathon at mile marker 53 on the Gulf side.
Okay, and it sounds awesome. If people want to get more info, how do they do it?
Florida Keys Aquariumencounters.com is probably the best way to do it. Get to our website, check it out. It talks all about the encounters, the mission, and everything that you get to do there.
And a great thing now, if parents have their kids at home and there's no camp and before they go back to school, bring them over, right?
Yeah, now's the time. I mean, summertime's a great time, and it's a perfect place for your family to come in and spend a day.
Ben, it was great talking to you. I know it's your baby. I know it's brand new. Good luck, and you'll come on back and we'll do it again.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
You got it.